Hi, welcome to Relish Books. So I am having an Agatha Christie revival in my reading life. Agatha Christie is an author that I used to read all the time. I went through a phase where I was just reading tons of her books, and I went to the library the other day, and I think since they're like renovations, they hadn't had all of her stuff that they had out yet, and so there's this whole shelf of her books, and so I grabbed some titles that I'm pretty sure I haven't read. It's hard for me to remember because I read so many like close together, and the titles are not always helpful remembering what the story is about. Like her biggest, like most well-known ones, some of the titles like click for me, help me remember, but some of them are very confusing. I'm like, I have no idea if I've read that or not. But I just grabbed a stack that I thought sounded good. So I got some here. I just read Cricket House last night and today. It was a lot of fun. I feel like for me, most readers who prefer classics, I feel like a lot of time there's they have like a guilty pleasure read, like a certain genre that is like their weakness. Like most of the time I like to read high literature and classics and all that. It's not that I'm like, oh, I only want to read this stuff. I just want to read stuff that's well written, and if it's not well written, I don't really care to read it. But my kind of cheaper genre read that I really like is mysteries. I really love mystery novels, especially murder mysteries. I think they're a lot of fun. And mysteries, not like, I don't go for like crime, just in general. Like, I don't like crime shows or anything like that. I like the mystery of it. I like the very standard setup of like a house full of suspects and you're like, oh, wondering which one it was. I really enjoy all that. And Agatha Christie is a great author to read if you have that like mystery craving, because she's easy, they're fast paced, they're easy to read. They have that quality that fulfills that hunger for just like a mystery, They are like, they're easy, they're very, kind of basic, but not written like garbage like most modern stuff. Like the writing is not anything amazing, but for a mystery like this, it's way better than anything modern that you're going to read. That's like, an author like this who just cranks out all these mystery novels. I mean, Agatha Christie wrote 66 detective novels and 15 short story collections. Sometimes she would write like multiple books a year. She didn't do much revision. She didn't do much editing. Kind of the way she wrote it out was the way that it was, just because of how fast she put things out. So considering all that, I think her writing is actually pretty incredible, because she worked very hard on it, but it wasn't like this. She wasn't trying to put together some literary masterpiece. She was telling detective stories, and I think taking them that way, they are really good. So yeah, I really enjoy her work. I want to read all of them. I want to say, I don't know exactly how many. I know I've read well over 30. So I've read over half of her books, and I want to read all of them. I'm going to need to like track down all the ones that I've definitely read, because I don't even remember at this point. But yeah, she's really fun and really great if you're like have that mystery craving. Agatha Christie and Arthur Conan Doyle are like the two big ones, and I think they're the two big ones for a reason. I think Sherlock Holmes is a little bit more well known, partly because Arthur Conan Doyle always did one detective, whereas Agatha Christie played around with several different characters. Hercule Poirot is like her big famous one, and Miss Marple, but she did a lot of standalones too, like a detective, or like in Cricket House that I just read, the main character is not actually a detective. He's like connected to the police, but he's just kind of an observer along with them. And I really like those. I like her standalones a lot. I like Poirot. I don't love him as a detective. He's fun. Nowhere on the level of like one of like the greatest characters in literature or anything like that. I definitely like Sherlock Holmes better when it comes to personalities. And even though I really like a lot of her stories, some of the Miss Marple plots are like my favorite Agatha Christie's, but I actually don't like Miss Marple as a character. I just personally find her annoying, I guess. So I like Poirot pretty well. One of my favorites is actually, I think it's called So Many Steps to Death, where there's a detective in the story, but he's not in it that much. He's kind of like behind the scenes. He kind of sends this woman as his, kind of as his stand-in, as his spy. I really like that one a lot. So yeah, her standalone novels are a lot of fun. I have not read any of her, what are they called? The Tuppence and Somebody? Tommy and Tuppence. I haven't read any of those. They just haven't appealed to me, but I checked one out, so I'm going to try it. And I don't think I've read any of her Harley Quinns either. So, I have I think this is the Mysterious Mr. Quinn. I think this is actually a short story collection. But I'm interested. I feel like maybe I have read some of those. Just don't remember. But anyway, it is important to read Agatha Christie. I think a lot of people don't realize how prolific she is or how big her influence is, because she has like a few well-known novels that are like huge, but she has so many, and like at the time and up till now, like they're really popular. She is the most published author in the world. She is outsold only by the Bible and Shakespeare. And I feel like most people don't realize that she's actually the best-selling author of all time, except for Shakespeare. I feel like the Bible's in its own category, but yeah, that's pretty incredible. And I think there's, a reason for it. Obviously, how much she wrote and that it was all popular. She doesn't have like a single novel that's the best-selling of all time, but collectively she's published the most, which is pretty cool. And she's just good. I don't know. Sometimes in the winter you need to just indulge those reading cravings, and I've been getting bogged down in some of my more serious stuff, so I got a nice stack of mysteries to keep me company for the next week or so. They probably won't last very long. I really love reading mysteries kind of back to back. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can finish these in a week and then go get some more. But we'll see. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you also love Agatha Christie. Let me know your favorite titles, and I will see you next time. Bye.